We are Mike and Jeannie, and we restore old houses. In 2021, we moved to South Carolina and bought a 120-year-old Victorian house. Follow along as we put the polish back on this Victorian masterpiece. The first thing that I want to do is measure the space, because I'm going to have to heat and cool a certain amount of square feet. And in order to do that, I need to know what I've got. So first of all, I'm just going to do the simple X times Y measurement. So we'll go across the room here and we'll see what we have. Looks like 9 feet 8 inches here. And then I'll do the same thing in this direction. That's about 24 feet and, 4 inches. Jeannie was just telling me, setting up the camera, that the floors are crooked. And I guess when you have a 130-year-old house that's made of wood, things are going to move and shift about, so that's to be expected. But let's go ahead and continue our measurements here. So we measure this one here, across, and we'll measure that one across. Oops. I thought you had it, sorry. Okay. If you think back to the high school days, for some of us that's much longer than we care to admit, but if you remember, you measure a room this way and you measure a room this way, you multiply those two numbers together, that gives you the total square footage of the room. So we take that number and then we do that same thing to every single space up there. And what I did is I took those totals, added them together, and came up with a total square feet of 926 square feet, which is a little less than 1,000. So online, there are some really great calculators that help you figure out what you need. So in this case, I'm on HVAC Direct, and no, we are not sponsored by them, but they're asking how many square feet we need to heat and cool. So I'm going to say 926, and the zip code somewhere near Greenville, South Carolina will be 29615, and I hit calculate, and then it comes back with a couple of numbers that are really important. So first of all, it says for cooling, we need 2 tons of cooling. And so I made sure to write that down. I have 2 tons of cooling. That is actual air conditioning. For heating, they're calling for 26,000 BTU, which sounds like a big number, but it's not really. Most houses take a lot more than that. If you took the entire total of this house here, it would be quite a bit more than that. But remember, we're only heating up the upstairs, and those are just the rooms there. So those numbers, we've got those now. Now we can go shopping, and on here we can find out what equipment matches those specifications. So we'll take care of that, and we're going to go ahead and get us a furnace, and then we'll come back in a future episode and we'll start putting this thing in. Have you ever heard true high fidelity sound? I'm not talking about earbuds and Bluetooth speakers. I'm talking about vacuum tubes, transformers, and real speakers. Audio enthusiasts have rediscovered vinyl. They've also rediscovered tubes. Why? Because they sound amazing. Tubes have the clearest, most natural sound. Meet the Daystrom Audio EconoBlock 1 amplifier kit. EconoBlock 1 gives you high-end sound without the high-end price tag. If you're willing to spend a couple of weekends, you can build a pair of tube amplifiers and enjoy them for many years to come. My wife and I built these two amplifiers, and we enjoy listening to them every day. The Daystrom Audio EconoBlock 1 is a mono amplifier, and it requires two of them for stereo. We invite you to visit our website at daystromaudio.com for more information.
Several episodes back, we made sauerkraut. That's what's in this jar here. I did several things wrong. This is my third attempt. Hopefully it'll turn out well. The first thing I did wrong was not measuring my cut up cabbage. I needed to measure it, how many grams it was, times 0.25 equals how many grams of pickling salt you need to use. I used iodized regular table salt. That was wrong. The measurement was wrong. So that is the correct formula that I needed to use. I did that the second time, but I forgot to make sure everything was thoroughly sterilized before I started, and it wasn't. So 2 days later, had mold growth. Threw that out too. This is the third attempt, and I do believe I did everything right. So we shall see probably in 2 to 3 weeks. It's in this room because this is the warmest room we have. We're in this one the most, so we keep it the warmest. So we'll see in a couple weeks. I wanted to let you all know, those of you who have been watching, I did practice on my machine. And I gotta say, it did take a little bit of work, but I think I'm there. So I wanted to give you a little demonstration of how it works and how it sounds. Now, I have been watching some videos and learned that you have to practice on it a bit before you get started with your actual fabric. There we go, up and done. Now, I've been practicing a lot on this, you can see, but it does take a little bit of effort because apparently if you don't go steady with your pace, then your thread is going to bunch up underneath because it'll back up a little bit and then it all gets tangled. So practice a bit beforehand, you can get a steady rhythm, and then you're good to go. Very exciting. I love this.
Getting back to the furnace topic, I've done a lot of research over the years, and I've always come back to regular gas furnaces instead of heat pumps. Now, I know heat pumps are good in some situations, but the houses that we live in tend to be old and drafty, and I don't know why, but we always seem to end up in cold climates too. Even though South Carolina is a warm climate, for some reason we came here and now we're getting cold winters. I like to install them myself, and I've done several of these already with good success, and that's what we'll do here in this house as well. So here's an example of what a furnace looks like. I'm sure all of you have seen these before, but that is a furnace, and this is one that can be had for DIY installs. Now, if anybody is thinking about doing a DIY install, it is complex, but if you do your research, ask a lot of questions, and know exactly what you're getting into before you attempt it, you'll be okay. But that's what we're going to do here. This will be, I've kind of lost track of how many we've done, but this will be a really nice addition to the existing system in our house. It just so happens that the system outside is a Goodman system, and that's what we'll be putting upstairs as well. Well, what do you think about having climate control up there?
Oh, I would love that.
That would
so
be
much.
incredible. That would be incredible. We bought this house in 2021, and we haven't had any climate control on the second floor the entire time we've been here. And the time has come. We can't really utilize that space for anything other than storage. So we need to get that finished. Well, I'll tell you what, I am so looking forward to spring. We could do some spring cleaning.
Yes,
get
that
the
would be
yard
nice.
cleaned up, get the house cleaned up, kind of reset everything. Just that annual refresh that always feels so good.
Yeah, that'll be really nice.
Yeah. Well, sorry the video is so short this week, but we didn't really have a lot going on. But we do appreciate you all stopping by.
Yes. Thank you for watching 1834 Restoration House.